If you stopped waiting to feel ready, what's the first move that you'd make? Waiting to feel ready is basically like hesitation in disguise. It might feel like you're waiting to feel ready to do something, but what you're actually doing is just practicing hesitation. Every time you put off that project that you've been wanting to start and you keep saying, well, maybe tomorrow. Or maybe you've been wanting to start up a business and you keep telling yourself things like, I wouldn't know where to start, I don't know what to do, maybe I'm not ready yet, maybe it's not the right time yet. You let things like doubt or fear of failure or maybe even fear of success or anxiety or overthinking, or the list can go on, but you let those certain thoughts or ideas or feelings keep you from actually pursuing whatever it is that you want to pursue. But when it comes to feeling ready to do something, it's not about waiting until you're ready or waiting until it's the right time or waiting until you have everything figured out. When you're wanting to do something, it's about taking that first step, taking that first action. Readiness isn't a prerequisite, it's a byproduct. You feel ready as you're in motion, not while you're waiting before you even start. Now, the thing about action is, even if we do try to take that first step, or even if we do try to plan everything out and we try to be really strategic about whatever it is that we're trying to do or accomplish, sometimes it could feel like even if we have it planned out or even if we're doing the right things, it seems like nothing is working. So when it comes to taking action, it's really important to figure out who is taking the action. Because if you're taking actions or you're taking all the right steps or you're being strategic, you're planning everything out, or you're just finally ready to stop waiting to feel ready and you want to just go and do something, you want to get started, it's important to make sure that you are operating from an identity that is matching essentially whatever type of outcome that you're looking for. If you're operating from an identity of this isn't going to work, or I don't think I'm good enough, or I don't think I deserve this, or maybe I'm not going to be successful, or what if I fail? If you're operating from that identity, it's going to feel really difficult even when you're planning or you're doing all the right things or you're finally pushing yourself to take that first step. So to make it feel easier or a little bit more comfortable, you really want to step into the version of you, the identity of what matches whatever your desired outcome is. It's not necessarily about a forced action. It's not, okay, well, in order for me to feel ready, let me force myself to do something. It's about taking a natural action from the identity, the version of you that matches what you want. And when you do that, everything else is going to feel natural. Every action you take is going to feel natural. And the reason why it's going to feel natural is because, let's just say for a second, if you picture yourself with your desired outcome, let's say you're trying to reach a goal or you are trying to start up your own business. Let's say your business is already started and it's very successful. If you were to start another business after you've already started up the first one, you're already successful, what would you do? Because you wouldn't wait until you feel ready. You would already feel ready because you know that it's possible for you to start up a business and see success with it. So how would you move when you're opening up that second business? How you would move when you're opening up that second business is exactly how you would move if you're opening up the first one and you're leading yourself with that identity that matches the desired outcome of having a successful business. You wouldn't be afraid to take risks. You wouldn't be afraid to try new things. And let's just say maybe you did feel a little bit afraid about something. You wouldn't let that feeling of being scared or a feeling of doubt, for example, you wouldn't let those control you. You would know that if you just get started or if you just do whatever it is that you're trying to do, those feelings will naturally subside, and they'll subside really quickly once you're in that identity of this is who I am, this is what I do, I'm successful no matter what, I'm getting my business started no matter what, everything is working out for me no matter what. When you're leading with that certain identity, you're unstoppable. Any sort of negative or unwanted feelings that might arise, they're not going to matter because you know that no matter what, you're going to open or run a successful business. Now, again, I'm using a business as an example here, but you can extrapolate this to any aspect or area in your life. Something recently that I've been afraid to do, and it's actually not even recently, it's been throughout the past almost a year. I keep saying, I want to move. I want to experience a different environment. I want to be somewhere that feels more like home. I want a different experience. I just want a change in my environment. I was like, okay, but I don't have family there. You know, I don't really know anyone. And if I go there, I'm scared to just be by myself basically. So I would say, okay, let me move this spring. And it was getting closer to springtime, and I was like, no, I'm still not ready. And then I said, no, you know what? Maybe in the fall. And then I was like, no, you know what? It would be perfect to start a brand new year living somewhere else. So I kept on delaying it. I'm like, no, maybe not yet. It's not the right time. I'm not ready. I'm too scared. So I was talking to someone recently about this. I was like, yeah, I'm going to move for sure next year. And they were like, well, why haven't you just moved already? And I was like, because I'm scared. Like I don't have family here. I don't have anyone. I'm just going to be alone. And they were like, Crystal, aren't you like basically alone where you live now? Like you don't have family there. And I was like, you know what? That is very true. Like they called me out and I was just like, that's so true. And so it took that different perspective, right? Because that was a perspective that I couldn't see for myself because I was viewing everything from a perspective of, okay, you're going to move across the country. You don't have family over there. Are you really going to be okay on your own? And I was seeing it from that lens, not even realizing that where I currently live now, I don't have family here either. I have a couple of friends here, but I don't have family here. So anytime I want to see family, I have to travel anyways. And then also I'm like, girl, you do just fine by yourself here where you live. Like, why wouldn't you be okay in a different state? Like it's the same thing, you know? Obviously, I'd be further from my family. The travel would be further away, but it's the same thing. So then I just got the ball rolling. Like that was another thing. I used to be a really strategic planner. The majority of my life, I just wanted to plan. I wanted to know exactly how everything was going to, pan out. I wanted to be in control all the time. And recently, over the last year or two, I've been really trying to just go with the flow. I've been really trying to just be like, everything does not have to be strategically planned out to the T. It's okay if you venture off track. It's okay if you go with the flow. It's okay if you try things in a different way than you normally would. Because what would happen is if I was trying to be strategic about everything, if something wasn't going according to my plan, it would almost freak me out and make me feel really anxious and nervous. And I didn't like feeling like that. And so I'm like, no, I know this is a big move, but let me plan out what I feel like I need to plan out, and the rest of it can fall into place as I go. As I've been practicing that, like I said, over the last year or two, everything really does work out. I mean, I'll plan certain things in terms of like the getting started or the necessities or things that I feel are important or urgent, but everything else, I'm just like, let me just see how it goes. I don't need to stress over this. It's always going to work out, and it always does. So that's an example of if you've been putting something off and you say it's not time yet, you're not ready yet, you're too scared, or whatever the excuse is, just get started and get started from that identity, the version of you who would have already done that thing anyway. Something else to think about is, what is the cost of waiting? Imagine where you'd already be if you stopped waiting. Every choice that you make either reinforces your old self, the self that is too scared, the self that's doubtful, the self that feels not good enough, not ready, not deserving, not worthy, whatever it is, or they build what you want or who you want to step into, what you want to experience. That's another thing that I thought about too. I was like, if I would have just moved earlier in the year like I originally planned, I would probably be at a pumpkin patch right now. I've never been to a pumpkin patch, or I'd be picking apples or something festive. So ask yourself right now, what's the first thing that you'd do if you just finally stopped waiting to feel ready? Drop it in the comments, and also go out and actually do it. You've got this. I love you so much. I'll see you next time.